And folks, here we are at the end of Allied turn 7, which is June 12th, which I should probably flip the turn marker up there. There we go, just to keep it clean. Which is the end of the short scenario, as it were, and that is where we're going to stop. And we indeed have a significant Allied victory, because the Allies began the turn with 14 victory points, and they have finished with 20. So they picked up no less than 6 more victory points. And well, there you are then. So as we can see, if we roll around and take a look, we had the Allies here at, and again, please excuse the French pronunciation. I'll do what I can. I'll try. So we have Sont Sauveur les Vicomtes here. These chaps were there. They went up there to try and take, I'll just say, that town, which looks like something like Briquebec. And were not able to do that. They destroyed the enemy, but they weren't able to take the town. I think they were given permission to advance 1 hex. It was a short advance, or whatever it's called, a minimal advance. Yeah, so that's what happened up there. Then over here we can see these chaps were very showed a lot of moxie, and they went up here and took this town up here, which is Montebourg. But that one doesn't count for the victory points because it's on this side of the, as we can see, the naval bombardment line there. We did have these chaps were able to kick out these chaps and take back, I think that's the 508th there, the 508th LZ, which gave them a point there. As we can see, these chaps have retreated. Let's see. I can't recall. Let's see. Oh, that looks like that's new as well. Saint-Jean-de-Day was taken there. Let's see. There certainly were areas where there was head banging went on and no progress was made. I think that may have been the case here, for example. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if they had enough strength to attack. We've got the Allies down here. I suppose they already had that, did they? Yeah. At Balleroy. Down there, but this is definitely new. They managed to get themselves into, let's take a peek. What do we got here? Oh no, that's I know that one. That's Caumont. Got themselves in there. Let's see what else. I believe there was an attack here, but that whenever there were because I believe there was an attack there as well, and whenever there are those 88s involved, there's always the very good chance that a determined defense will be able to hold up. And that's what happened there for sure. Then I don't believe there are any attacks in this region here, but the British certainly came this way and made great progress. They were able to, let's see, what have they got? Yeah, they came down here and they took... There we go. There was a landing zone there for the British 3rd. They took the town of Troan there. They took this landing zone here. 8 of the 3rd, or 8 and 3rd, I suppose. I'm not sure about that. Anyway, they took that one. Right. So anyway, at the end. Just for the I have made some notes, and just for the history books, as it were. Let's see. At the end, the Allies had. Let's see. They already had on the previous turn. They already had Saint-Sauveur-les-Vicomtes. Let's see. What is that? Pont Lab, 507th landing zone, 505th landing zone, 506th landing zone, 502nd landing zone, 501st landing zone, Bayeux, which is worth 2 points, Ballaroi, which is worth 1, then UK 5th landing zone. So that was the 14 points that they had on at the end of the already had at the end of the 6th turn, June 11th. And then on the 7th turn, the one that's just been done, they took 508th landing zone. They took Saint-Jean-de-Day, the Caumont, the 8/3 landing zone, Troyes, and also, it's marked as 3RR landing zone. Okay, which is another 6, which gave them a total of 20. So they've got they've got almost 50% more. Sorry, I forgot to mention one thing there, and that was on the previous turn. They had, of course, where do we go here? They had the road secured to join up the beaches, which is 3 points. So yeah, at the end of the whole campaign, then they've got almost 50% more victory points than were required. So it's quite a significant victory for the Allies, significant defeat for the Germans. Okay, just a moment. And in case you're wondering what the unusual background noise is, that's the rain, which we tend to have a fair amount of here in Wales. And let's see. Oh, just for the historical record too, it's August the 25th, 2023. So, plenty of rain in August. Yes, marvellous. Keeps the grass green. Anyway, there we are. Now, as far as my personal opinion of the game system, of the game overall, I've certainly enjoyed the game. When I look at the German reinforcement card, in terms of what's left, what hasn't come on so far, like 2/3 of the units on that sheet have come on, I would say. And so then there are there are other units coming on. Well, next turn would be Tiger tanks. Well, a Tiger tank unit anyway. And then pretty much nothing terribly powerful until about, good 10 turns, 12 turns pass before more powerful reinforcements show up. We have these somewhat powerful units over here. A bit of glare there, sorry. So I mean a couple of 8/5s, yes, okay. But so therefore one might imagine that were this to continue, this goes on, of course, as they head up towards Cherbourg up there, they're going to wake those chaps up. But they're pretty thin up there. Those units, they're not the best, and there aren't that many of them. So therefore, the Allies are going to be just sort of spreading hither and thither. And I don't know, it looked pretty tough for the Germans to contain them, I would have thought, and that the automatic victory conditions, which have got the Allies, something like exiting 3 units off the map edge, either heading that way or heading south. That would be jolly hard for the Germans to contain, I would think. So anyway, as far as the game system overall goes, I think it's there are a lot of rules and there are a lot of exceptions. It is a lot for me, certainly, compared to other games. I keep saying compared to things like, I don't know, the Russian campaign. It's a lot to keep in your head at the same time. So it was definitely a nimble sort of intellectual and mathematical exercise to be able to conduct each turn. and the the depth of the sort of tactical choices, as it were, that can be made in each combat, because you're deciding whether or not to include a little bit of armor, some silhouetted units. You're trying to keep units together in the sense of the same division. Um, you had the unusual mechanism of having a maximum, or at least it's unusual to me, of having a maximum amount that you contribute can be contributed to a combat. I can imagine that might, I don't know, be based on something along the lines of what you can't, if you're attacking 10 soldiers, you can't sort of attack them really. You can't be said to be attacking them with 10,000 soldiers. It's like, where would they all fit or something like that? But anyway, so yeah, the whole thing about having a maximum combat strength of 18 is an interesting thing. So it means you do have an awful lot of one-to-one combats. Well, there would be one-to-one were it not for the air support markers and the naval support markers, obviously. But in the end, you keep hammering away and turn after turn, and eventually, you do get all these rules stuck into your head. And of course, I know that if I now stop this and pack it up, and the next time I play this, it's going to take a while for those rules to get back into the old noggin again. And but one of the things that, as I play more of these games solo, one of the things that really does stick in my mind is how baffling it is to me that you would actually, in this day and age, manage to get two people who could play this face to face, and the amount of time it would take. Because I mean, when I was playing this, of course, I'm new to it and all that sort of thing, but because of the depth of decisions that can be made on every turn, and there are so many combats that can take place on each turn as well, that I was easily spending an hour on each turn for each side, and so playing that face to face, gosh, it would be an interesting experience. Anyway, let's not dwell too much on that. I feel the urge to, I don't know, write an essay or something like that. But yeah, might happen. Okay, but apart from that, it's been a lot of fun. Excellent quality, excellent production quality. I really like the look and feel of the manual, and which has an index, thankfully. Yay! And then, but I've also made great use of the fact that there's the PDF, and so I've got that on my phone. I can search it whenever I'm stuck on something. I can search it and find every occurrence of any individual word, obviously, and that's a hugely powerful tool to have at your disposal. And then the other thing I found is, of course, because this is a sheet, the map is a sheet, it's not a board. And what did I think at the end of the day in terms of the fact that I didn't have a sheet of plastic or perspex to stick over the top? It wasn't a nightmare, but I definitely don't want to do something like that again. If I'm going to play another game with a sheet like this, I definitely need to get a hold of a perspex sheet. And I think that's about it from here. And look, the sinister reinforcements. Well, they haven't done much. They're just sort of lurking around being sinister. Yes, strange that. So here's to it. And I hope you've enjoyed the coverage of Normandy 44 from GMT Games. Oh, that's right. Of course, they do Holland 44, which is, the same system basically, but with some different things, obviously. And sure, there are going to be some differences in scale and things like that. But if the system is basically the same, I've always been a keen student of the market garden operation. And so I could see that I might be tempted to get a hold of old Holland 44 and give that a bash as well, with the whole bridge too far thing and so forth and so on. So again, thanks for watching, and good gaming. And as I say, here's to it.